My presentation is entitled Google in the Classroom, and I will be highlighting two Google tools that are ideal and effective for education. The first tool I chose was Google Docs, and Google Docs is probably one of the most well-known of the Google apps, but I chose it because I think it really serves a useful purpose in the classroom. So what Google Docs is, it allows users to create, edit, and collaborate with others on documents. And it was originally designed simply as a collaborative word processing app, but I think that actually makes it quite ideal for the classroom. I am in school to be a high school English teacher, and in my future classroom, I want to engage in a lot of collaborative work. And again, as an English teacher, I know that I will be having my students do a lot of writing assignments. So the Google Docs allows me to combine those two things. So I can do small group writing assignments, which I would love to do in my classroom, and this makes it a whole lot simpler. And Google has actually highlighted three key features that make Google Docs ideal for the classroom. I actually thought those were quite helpful, so I will share those. The first one is it's completely free. So you don't have to pay any money to use it. There's no add-ons that cost additional money, so the cost is no barrier. There's also 24/7 support, so if you ever run into any issues in the classroom, you can get help right away for that, and there's no ads, which is a huge benefit. Second, it allows for easy collaboration where students can create documents, edit them, and share them with their classmates or their small group members or myself in real time, and everything is stored in the cloud. So it makes everything really accessible. It streamlines the process of small group work. And finally, it can be used on any device. So you can use it on any computer, tablet, or phone. So that makes it accessible to all students, no matter what school I'm in and what type of technology they have available. I'll be able to use Google Docs. How can teachers use Google Docs? Well, there's obviously many ways that teachers can use them, but I want to focus on collaboration. So teachers can use this to collaborate with their peers, either in a cross-disciplinary lesson. So if I, as an English teacher, wanted to work with a science teacher to come up with a unit plan, we could do a lot of that work online via Google Docs. You could also use it to communicate and create lessons or unit or ideas within your department. So I could upload a document and another English teacher at my school could give me feedback or give me notes, or we could work together to create a cohesive plan. Teachers can also use it to differentiate instruction. I observed at Raytown High School, in a co-teaching class where there is a general ed teacher and then a special ed teacher. And the special ed teacher actually used Google Docs to differentiate instruction. So they would have a test, a unit test, for example, and that would be uploaded onto Google Docs. All the students had a Chromebook in the classroom, and it was on the Chromebook that they took their test. And so each student got a test, and those tests were modified based on the skills and the ability level of the students. So certain more advanced students got a little more complex questions, maybe a little longer, maybe requiring a little more higher thinking skills, while other students got tests that were modified for their skill level, so maybe fewer questions or questions that had pictures. Maybe some of the questions had been answered for them, so they could kind of use those to help them figure out the rest of the test. So I thought that was a really cool use of Google Docs and something I want to use because differentiated instruction is so important, but can also be quite difficult to do. And I think technology is a huge aid in that. And even Google Docs is a way to help me utilize that in my own classroom. Students can use Google Docs in a lot of ways. As I said, they can work in groups to write papers, stories, review, or whatnot, and they can upload that to the computer, and then a member of the group can make an edit, or they can edit it together, or they can compile and work on their own sort of creation without having to be in the same room. The second tool I decided to highlight was Google Sites. And Google Sites allows users to create web pages and websites without having to know any HTML or other complicated code. And it was originally designed as a website tool as part of the Google for Work productivity suite. So it was designed originally for businesses, but once again, I think it's really easy to transfer this app into the classroom. And some of the benefits of the Google Sites, it's simple and intuitive to use. It doesn't take much more knowledge than creating a Word document, so you don't need to have any pre-existing skills. The site has a built-in Google search, which is really helpful. You can embed a multitude of things onto it, documents, calendars, images, and it can be styled to match old websites or based on private or public templates. So you have a lot of flexibility in design. And I think this is really a cool app because I've been thinking a lot about using some sort of online tool to help me create a class website. I've had to create this past semester a lot of lesson plans, and in a lot of these lesson plans I wanted to use a class website so students could upload things they have found onto it, or students could post on a discussion board. So I've been seeing more and more the utility of having a class website. And so as a teacher, this is an easy way for me to create a website because I don't have any skill in doing that. And so I think this would be something that would be really helpful, so I could upload maybe student work, but also just in terms of utility, I could upload lecture notes for students who weren't in class, announcements, homework, essays or long-term assignments, rubrics, etc. So it gives me a lot of flexibility in what I want to post on there, and Google Sites is an easy way to do that. Students can also use it in a lot of ways. Because it's so easy, they could create their own website or webpage for a project. So maybe I could do a unit project when students have to create a website, or they could also add things onto the existing class website. And again, on the Google Sites, they can upload almost anything. They can publish their writing, they can take pictures and upload it, they can create videos, whatever. So it's a way for them to put their content onto the internet. And they can use it, again, many other uses, but I was thinking that e-portfolios would be a cool thing to do on that. I could do it too as a teacher, but I was focusing more on how could students do that. And so they could upload assignments throughout the year to demonstrate their learning. And even working on the technology integration matrix, I realize how important it is that students learn how to monitor their own progress and learning throughout the semesters, and I am unsure on how to do that. And I think an e-portfolio would actually be a really cool way to help students kind of assess how much they've grown through the semester, what they have learned, how they have improved. And so an e-portfolio via the Google Sites would be an excellent resource. So those are just two Google tools that I think would be really helpful. I actually found that there's quite a few resources, but those two I could easily implement into my classroom.